In fact, we're seeing Russia unleashing its biggest air assault yet on Ukraine. Officials say that as many as 800 drones and decoys have been fired in a single night along with missiles. And this marks the largest such attack of the war. In the early hours, Russia has launched an unprecedented strike. 805 drones and decoys along with 13 missiles. Ukraine, in fact, claims that its air defenses have been shot down and 747 drones and 4 missiles. But they say that 9 missiles did hit their targets and 56 drones breached the defenses. This is across 37 locations. So this is the biggest attack yet that has come in from Russia at a time when peace talks are on, at a time when countries are working together to ensure peace in the region. Russia launching its biggest attack yet across 37 locations. Srinjoy Chaudhary continues to stay live with us. And Srinjoy, what does this indicate? Clearly things did not seem to be going well because Trump also spoke about secondary sanctions. But what does it mean for the Russia-Ukraine war? This is the biggest air assault yet.
When you fire 800 missiles and drones, it's a way of overwhelming the air defense system. And the Ukrainians are saying this, that look, we shot down 750 plus of them, which means that while you've done a great job by shooting down 750 plus drones and missiles, about 50 got through and hit their targets and did the damage. Now, what it means is this is a concentrated attack, and this is an effort to overwhelm the air defense system. When you fire all these missiles, all of them together, and all the drones, now drones are cheap, they are very easy to make, and they are very easy to utilize. So if you fire 700 drones, then it's easy enough a job. But a drone can do serious damage. And this is exactly the case. Now, in 37 locations, the Russians have fired 800 drones and missiles. That has huge capacity for damage. Even if 750 plus have been shot down, there is still damage. Now, this is something that the Russians, it's also a message. It's a message the Russians are giving to not just Ukraine, but to the world, and particularly to America. The Russians are saying, fine, you want secondary sanctions, you want to impose secondary sanctions, well, do so. We will continue with the war, which also means means that Alaska wasn't as successful as Trump hoped and many others hoped. So if the Alaska summit has not been successful in bringing an end to the war, then what is the next step for America? What is the next thing Europe will do? What will Ukraine do? So all these things have to be looked at. Clearly, the war which Trump hoped he would end on the 21st of January is still going on.
Okay, all right. And this is the first time that we're also seeing that government buildings in Ukraine have also been hit. But Srinjoy, is it safe to now say that the Alaska summit was clearly a big fat failure because there were efforts being made? Trump called it a fantastic meeting as well, but nothing came out of it. And this escalation that we're seeing from Russia is a clear indication that at the moment, peace is not just one step away.
The first thing is, when you meet in Alaska, the issue really is a ceasefire. If you want the war to end, and that is exactly India's position, let the war end, let there be a ceasefire, let both sides sit at the negotiating table and work things out. That is India's position. You remember Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying to President Putin that the 21st century is not a time for war. Now, the important thing is that Trump had hoped to get a ceasefire. Now, if he had hoped to get a ceasefire, clearly he has not succeeded in getting a ceasefire. what he is getting is much worse. The attack by 800 drones and missiles from Russia. So that itself is a message from the Russians that, look here, you are going to impose sanctions, we are going to fire missiles.